let's talk about graphite pencils. Yes, graphite pencils, the wood-cased graphite pencil. Not the clutch pencils, not the graphite sticks, not the water solubles, and not the tinted ones. Just the regular old run-of-the-mill workhorse pencil. So, they come in all kinds of sizes and shapes and types and stuff. And there's the school and office pencils as we know them. They're typically either a B or a HB pencil. Not a lot of choice in terms of what lead you get. You get the standard. Then there's student grade pencils. I only have two, and these are from Faber-Castell. These are the 2001 grip pencils, and yeah, they got the red thingies on because those are too thin for me to draw with. I get hand fatigue from that. I need something a little thicker to hold on to, but we got helpers. And yeah, then there's the art grade ones, and the art grade ones is often a little more expensive, ranging from a little more expensive to a lot more expensive than these ones. And there's all kinds of brands, of course, and some brands have several lines. I got the full line of all the art grade pencils that Derwent has made, namely the graphic line here, which is kind of the standard type of pencils, going from 9H in one end to 9B in the other end, and in the middle we have got HB and fine. So that is 20 hardnesses right there. The set, as you can see, is 24, and there are two oddballs over here, and that's because I took two of the ones that are duplets, because there's 4 hardnesses that is doubled up in the set. So here I have the Onyx pencils, which is a specialty pencil that they also make. So I got the full range in here. We might have to take some out later, but let me put it aside. Usually you get something a lot better when you buy something that costs a lot more. So let's have a look at 5 contestants for the most expensive pencil this household owns. Blackwing pencils, I got 3 of those. They have 4 hardnesses, and the last one was marked as hard, so I didn't buy it because I don't like hard pencils. Now I bought the 3 other ones, and these are all quite soft, so I suspect that hard one was maybe not all that hard. I got 2 graphite from Caran d'Ache. These ones cost €3 something each. I've never paid that much for a graphite pencil before, really. The black wings cost me €3.33, pretty much, and the Caran d'Ache €3.40. So they are nearly the same price. If you calculate that I had to pay shipping for these, then they become the most expensive, but let's not count that. So they are the most expensive, and the least expensive of my art pencils, I believe, is either the Derwent or the Faber-Castell 9000. And the Faber-Castell has some, the wood casings on those are a little softer than some of the others, so they can be a little funny to sharpen sometimes, but not to a point where it's a problem. The Staedtler Lumograph has a huge range of pencils. It goes from, I'm unsure, 10 or 11H to 12B. And they are a lot of people's favorites. They cost about, for me, about €2, I believe, depending a little bit on where I buy them. Faber-Castell's about €1 each. Derwent's probably about the same. I have 2 pencils from Lyra. I have no idea what they cost around here. I can't find them anywhere. These pencils is some I got from my mum when she died, so I can't ask her where she got them. And then I got some pencils from Coronor. I forgot what I paid for them. It was €1-ish. type of thing. The Onyx, I don't remember the price of. Grip pencil, Grip 2001 from Faber-Castell, the student line, definitely under €1 each. And all of these definitely also under €1. I think you can get several for €1 of some of these. There's two of them that we haven't paid for. They were gifts. So lots of prices on lots of thicknesses and stuff. So what's the difference between them? And I think we should start comparing something, because I talked about the hardnesses, and the thing about the hardness is that there is no ISO standard saying that if you have an HB pencil, it has to give off this exact color on this particular paper if you put it in this machine with this pressure and stuff like that. There's nothing like that. So each company has their own idea what an HB pencil is. The only thing that is sure is that it is kind of in the middle of their hardness range. So let's grab some HB pencils and compare them. Got one, two. One of these is a HB, that one. Got the Cornor HB. Gotta be the last one. Yep. The Derwent Sorlayer. I only have soft pencils in yours. Here's an HB from Lumograph. What are you? There. And I got an HB here. And the Blackwing will have to stand over in this round because they don't have the HB concept in their line. That's also why the Onyx went out to the side this time. So let me try and figure out which one is probably the cheapest, because this one is the oldest. It is probably the cheapest. It's a Viking 029. It's a very old line and they still have them, and it's a very stable product. So what I'm going to do is try and just give it with light strokes here. I'm going into some more medium hard strokes, and then we burnish it into the paper, because when you burnish it into the paper, that's when you get a view of how shiny it is and how black it goes. And it can also show you how it marks into the paper sometimes. So the next one must be the Norris pencil, Norris 120 from Stadler. I think they come in two hardnesses, like HB and B. It's a school/office pencil. And it doesn't go quite as black as the Viking pencil. I have to work a little harder for that. But felt quite a lot the same. Like that. You can down there you can see that they both shine. It's a physicochemical property of graphite. Oh, the next one gotta be either Derwent or Faber-Castell. Let's start with Derwent. Derwent is quite cheap where I live, but I know that in the States they cost a bit more. Shipping and taxes and stuff like that. Maybe not quite as dark as the others, and it feels a little scratchier, but it's quite okay. Looks like that. It's not a big difference. It's a little hard to tell. I have to look a lot at it before you see that it's much of a difference. Faber-Castell 9000. Oh, I skipped one. Oh, we will just put that in there. And it feels pretty much the same as the others. There's not been a lot of difference between them this far. And neither in feel nor in looks. There's a little bit in the darkness. So let's grab the other. It should have been up here with the cheap ones, but let's grab the Faber-Castell, so we get Faber-Castell against Faber-Castell. This feels a wee bit more scratchy, but it gives off quite good color. And yeah, it's actually looks darker than the 9000 HB. But again, not a lot. So Koh-i-Noor, you are a price-friendly art supply. Everything of Koh-i-Noor's except their professional watercolors is actually quite cheap. Okay, Koh-i-Noor, you don't want to go anywhere as dark as the other ones. That is very visibly different. And I have burnished it down to a shine here. It's not so shiny. I can even try burnish it a little harder because I can still see the paper. But really, there's no way that is ever gonna go as black as the other. See how shiny it is. They're, by the way, kind of the same shininess the whole row down. Shininess is one thing that graphite artists complain about in pencils. Staedtler Lumograph feels a little softer. It feels a lot softer than the Koh-i-Noor pencil, and it goes this black. Not a huge visual difference from the others, not a huge feel difference. And then Caran d'Ache. You have to beat them all, you have to do everything perfect. Because she was so expensive. It's fresh and sharp, so the lines look finer. You are not very black. Feel even a little scratchy compared to all of the others. That might have to have something to do with that it is freshly sharpened. It is not as black as some of the others. Got to work for it. It's not as light as the Koh-i-Noor, but there is a difference, but not a huge one. They actually came down pretty similar. The Koh-i-Noor is the one that sticks out the most. How did they feel? How were they? They were all good. I quite frankly didn't feel much of a difference between the Viking and this one. Sorry. The big difference is that the Caran d'Ache is thicker. It lies better in my hand. I am a sucker for thicker pencils. Other people like them thinner. The lead is thick, a little bit thicker in the Caran d'Ache, I think. But yeah, not really a huge difference, to be honest. Actually, the Viking gives off a little easier. Let's try some of these, because even though there's no hardness on them, they are actually likely to be approximately an HB. School pencil, no name, lost its label. How are you compared to the Graphwood? Pretty close to being the same. Yes, it doesn't sharpen as pretty, but it feels the same and it looks pretty much the same on the paper. And we can't talk about light fastness because the ingredients in graphite pencils, regardless where they come from and how expensive they are, it's all light fast, so we can't sell it on that. Freebie from ISC Square. ISC Square is the name. It's a computer company. Had these made as giveaways for a course. You actually feel pretty much like all the expensive ones. Yep. Pretty much no difference. If anything, it is actually a little darker in the black than the Caran d'Ache. Here's an IKEA pencil that I have to return at my convenience. Oh, you are actually darker than the graphite. But you feel pretty much the same. So the hardness is close. Now, black wings. We have to talk to you guys. Because Blackwing is special. Blackwing was originally made by Faber-Castell back in the day and discontinued sometime mid-80s, and some people begged them to bring them back, and they did, and they sold them to Palomino in California. That's kind of their story in a few sentences. So this was the original one. It's called 602. Then they have added the Blackwing Pearl, which is softer. They also call it balanced on their website. And then there's the matte, which is even softer yet. They got one that they call hard, and I didn't get that one. Yeah. I got these three. So let's try them out. They come unsharpened, which I actually like, because then the tip is not ruined, and when you sharpen them, you just get a fresh point, and that's absolutely fine. The only thing I will complain about getting unsharpened is a huge set of colored pencils. If I had to sharpen 120 pencils or more, not funny. It would show, however, which ones I used. Anyways, Blackwing, here we go. You are definitely softer than all of my HB pencils, so you are a B something. Not as black as the HB though. So that was the pearl. It felt good though. You are also soft. You're a little easier to go black with than the 602, so it's true that you are softer. The blackness is close to being the same. I can't really tell the difference. I better show you like that. And matte. Are you really matte or are you shiny? Definitely softer than the others. It's very easy to go black on this one. And the blackness is about the same as the other one, but I can tell the difference between the... Let's repeat the 06 here next to 602, sorry. Yeah, you can tell the difference between those two, and that's typical. That's why I usually advise people to get skip some hardnesses when they buy pencils. You don't need the full range. Oh my god, they shine too. So what people say about the black wings, that you should get them because they're not shiny, that's a perception matter, because I think they think they're matte. They look maybe a little more matte on the paper, but when you flip the paper you can tell, yep, they shine just as much as any of the others. And I got a 4H here of Caran d'Ache. Let's try that. That shines as well, that's for sure. Yep, and that HB we already determined they all shine the same. Yeah, and that's the same with the 4H, 4B. Yeah, so they kind of look and feel kind of the same across the board. There's of course differences. If you take a harder or a softer pencil, they feel different, but across brands I can't really tell. Here is the 4B from Coronor. Let's compare that. And looks pretty much like the graph wood. And it's every bit as shiny, no difference there. Now the shininess, I have to say, it might look different on different kinds of paper. This is a drawing pad. It might look different if I had it on cotton watercolor paper or something else. It might be that some pencils are a lot less shiny on that than others. I have to make that disclaimer because paper does matter. But by and large, I'd say buy whatever pencil you want to own. My favorite is still Mars Lumograph, and it is not because Mars Lumograph is exceedingly better or worse or anything than the rest. This is the pencil, the art grade pencil I can get the easiest. I can just pop downtown, pick up whatever I need, and go home. I pick them up when I'm doing my everyday shopping anyways. I really like the graph wood. Not because it's expensive, not because it's fancy, but because it's a little bit thicker and it fits in my hand really well. Let's try actually and do the smear test. Yeah, they smear a little different. Smearing is a thing. It can be a good thing if you want to make soft shadings. It can be really annoying if you want a sharp, crisp line and you have had your hand over it and you have rubbed it and you get dirty and stuff. So it's one of these things you have to work with graphite pencils. Is it a feature, is it a bug? Depends on what you like. If you want crisp lines, either use harder pencils or put something slick under your hand. Let's talk about the onyx pencils before we end this session, because these are special. They were marketed a few years back, and it should be the darkest of the dark pencils, and it should be darker than the softest pencil in their line, and let's just say they're not. And I was kind of disappointed in them, and they have not been used a whole lot. Then I talked to a graphite pencil artist, and he was raging about these, and it's like, oh, they are so good, and I've worn down several of them since launch. I bought these pretty much at launch, and I'm not even started sharpening into the text of them. And I said, you know, I'm so disappointed in them because it was supposed to be super dark, and they're not really. And he said, no, but they're dark enough. And what he pointed out, and he is absolutely right, is that they're quite firm. So you get a really good line with these. And they hold the point quite well. So they feel kind of like they got the feel and the quality of an HB pencil, but they're darker. But he's actually right, they really hold their point well. This is the medium one. So you can do eyelashes, for instance. If I tried to make an eyelash with anything softer than, say, a 2B pencil, it would be blurry because the tip would just wear down really quick. But you can really go in and do your dark details in a pencil drawing with these without any problems. And you can even do some soft shading with them as well because they're quite versatile. And you won't have to sharpen them all the time. So, and I went back and looked at my onyx pencils with a renewed respect, and I tried them out, and I now like them a lot better because they are their own thing. No, they are not darker than a 9B, but they're really dark enough, and they are really nice to draw with. I'd say they could even be a standalone pencil where you don't really need other pencils because they go from really light to really quite dark. Now the dark one is even darker, and that one has to be sharpened a little bit more often, but again, I can really see what that guy meant about them being good for dark details. And I'm definitely gonna keep onyx around in my pencil stash. I might even try and do a drawing just with my onyx pencils. I really should, because they're really good. So yeah, buy what you can get. Buy what is convenient for you to buy wherever you live. Buy what fits your budget. If you want really fancy, expensive pencils, which are not expensive compared to other art supplies, get the black wings if you can, or get the graphite ones. But don't be fooled, they are just a pencil. Really, they're good. They're really good. I can see why people are excited for them, and I can see why people are excited about all of them. So, go pencil shopping. Have fun. Do some drawing. I won't tell you what to buy, because it's I find it difficult to find a bad pencil. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that, because I do different things and you should see it. Bye.